Thanks for coming for another one of my videos. This is Bubs Be Snappin'. Please, if you're not a returning viewer, click the subscribe button in the bottom right of the screen. I'd really appreciate it. At the moment, I'm about to have 100 subscribers, and hopefully if I get enough subscribers, I'll reach my lifetime goal of 1 million. And without any more introduction, let's get to it. So for your inventory, what you're going to need, I always use 4 overload potions. If you don't have these, use the War Master potions. And then 4 super restores. You don't need a lot of prayer pots or super restores because the Bandos boss does drop a lot of these. Other than that, the rock climbing boots is necessary to get to God Wars if you haven't completed the quest to teleport there. Magic note paper is very useful. You're going to need this to maximize your profits whenever going down here. Other than that, I use 2 pack yaks. Use 2 pouches of these to restore your summoning points. If you're a high level player like me, I always recommend 2 because you'll be down here for probably 2 hours, maybe. Using this guide, you'll be able to go down there and you won't have to leave until you're totally filled up with loot. Other than that, the rest of the inventory will be full of sharks. Same thing with the inventory for your familiar. And if you're a mid-tier player, I always recommend the full Guthans, as well as Bandos boots, Bandos gloves, and then if you don't have this Luck of the Dwarves, it's okay. Use whatever ring you think is best. It doesn't really matter about the ring. The ring I just think gives me better drops, so I use this. If you can't afford it, because it's 54 mil, I recommend using a luck potion. Those tend to work just as good in my opinion. Not 100%, but I'd say 80% is good. And then for high level players, if you're a high tier player like myself, I recommend going in there with a Noxious Scythe, Cinderbane gloves, and then Malevolent armor. That's also if you're not worried about the amount of money, because the amount of money you make here will account for the degradation of your equipment. But at the same time, me being the player I am, I like to get as much money as I can out of a trip. So I'm not going to be using these today. I'm going to be using the Guthans. Very important for mid-tier players to use the Guthans because it does give you, health points back whenever you attack with it. Same thing with this Blood Amulet of Fury. Give you more health points back whenever you attack. If you don't have the Blood Amulet Fury, you can just use a regular Fury Amulet. And then without any more stalling, let's go to it and get to the boss, and I'll show you the easiest way to do this. Okay guys, before you go in here, I almost forgot, this is how I have my action bar set up. So I have it on Revolution. I have these first 9 stats as it shows here. Okay, first I have the Sacrifice ability. Deals up to 100% weapon damage and heals you. Second, I have the Cleave ability. Third, I have Dismember, Sever, Smash, Barge, Punish, Disassemble. That one, it doesn't really matter if it's in there. You're only going to need these 8. And the Slice ability. And then over here, I have my Hurricane, Quake, Meteor Strike, Blood Tendrils, which you're not going to need for this. And same thing with the Ice Asylum. If you don't have 91 HP, don't worry, it's not a necessity. Up here, I use Debilitate, which helps for taking a lot less damage. I have the Eat Food ability, which, makes it to where you don't have to go all the way over to your inventory to eat food. I have the Transfigure ability, which means that whenever I take damage, after taking damage, it heals you for a great amount. I have the Anticipation ability right here, which helps for taking less damage. Also, the fastest way to get to Bandos, if you've already been there before, just go to Draenor Village through the Lodestone, click on War's Insignia. If you've never been here before, all you do is trade war right here. Right click, click on shop. click on Portal, Unlock, go north to the portals, click on Attune Boss Portal, and then you can attune it to whatever you want. For example, this one right here I got going straight to Bandos, and it brings you straight right to the door. Okay, and once you're down here in the actual God Wars dungeon, you just go northwest. As long as you have on these Bandos boots, Bandos gloves, or anything Bandos related, they will not attack you over here. Bang on the big door to get through it. And then once you're over, you will need to kill 40 different Bandos creatures. As soon as you kill 40 of them, it admits you into the Bandos room. So let's get killing the creatures real quick. Okay, now that we have our 40 Bandos kills, we simply just walk to the door and it'll let you through, and that 40 kills will go away. So I'm going to enter the big door. And what you want to do is, I always start a custom encounter. It costs 200k, but it's well worth it. So if you're a lower level player trying to do this right here, I suggest going on the standard. That way it takes longer for these little guys to reappear. They tend to do a lot of damage on you with low level. For higher level players, I always put it on the fastest, maximize your loot. The big general spawns way quicker. But for video purposes, I'm going to put it on just regular fast. And go ahead and show you how I get this done. Where you want to stand is right over here, because there's a mage that spawns right here. The ranger spawns over here where my mouse is. And then the brawler always spawns right here. But the reason I stand here is to get rid of the mage first. The mage will definitely do the most damage on you, but definitely always want to protect from attack, because General Gardor does a lot of damage on you. And as soon as this little guy respawns, you want to go ahead and use Hurricane, Quake, and Meteor Strike to get him out of the way really quick. If you're on the fastest respawn time, which I normally do, he would have respawned by now and started attacking me with his mage. You don't really have to worry about the ranger. He doesn't do a lot of damage at all. See, he spawned right here, so I'll go ahead and do my AoE special attacks. Notice I haven't lost a lot of health yet. A lot of that is definitely due to the Blood Amulet of Fury and the full Guthans I'm using, as well as the sacrifice ability right here. Whatever health I did lose is already back up. In my opinion, this is the easiest way to get the Bandos boss done, and then just go ahead and go for the Ranger real quick. I'm going to go ahead and eat a little bit just so I can have some inventory space. You pick up the arrows, you can just put them in your arrow spot so they don't take up your inventory. Always use the magic no paper on the bones. That way, you know, that doesn't take up a whole bunch of inventory space on your next kill. If you do need to restore your prayer points, you can always pray at the Bandos altar. And then I go ahead and stand right here. Using this method, I don't know exactly how many times you'll kill the boss, but I know for the amount of time you're down here, you can spend a lot of time on one trick. As for the pet, I do have sharks stored with them, but mostly that's for whenever I don't use the Guthans and I'm going for really quick kills. Other than that, you can fill up his inventory space with loot as well, which is a pretty good thing to do. Maximize your money on your trips. The most common food that you'll find down here is this chili potato. They usually drop 3 at a time. Other than that, a lot of times they drop these kebabs, and they also drop a lot of sharks. So in between kills, you want to go ahead and take off your protect magic. And yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the rest of this trip, that way this video isn't 2 hours long. And we'll see what kind of loot I can get from my time down here. Alright, so I was about 2 hours worth of bossing down there at the Bandos, and I got some pretty okay loot. But again, before I show you the loot real quick, guys, please click the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen. I would really appreciate it. Right now I'm trying to get to 100 subs and hopefully hit my lifetime goal of 1 million. But let's get to the loot. I got 1 Bandos boots, 1 God Sword Shard 1, 1 Bandos helmet, 2 God Sword Shard 3, 161 org bones. That's nice. A bunch of rune salvage. And then right here I got 17 Grimy Snapdragon and then 90 magic logs. So if you're a high player like me, 3.5 mil obviously isn't a lot for the 2 hours down there. But it is pretty fun. It does give you boss points. If you're a mid-tier player, this would be a lot of money for you. It would really help you out. Other than that, if this video has helped you out, please go in the comments below. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think I should upload next. I really appreciate you guys coming in, watching my videos, and I'll upload some more soon.